Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of book review with me on my channel. Today we are going to be talking from this book titled How Successful People Think. Yes, how successful people think. There is a way of thinking that separates the successful from every other person. And if you must emerge as a successful person, you must be ready to master the way you think. And that is why this book has come so handy today. I read it some weeks ago and I was so excited. I said, no, I need to share this with people on my channel so that they can either get the book and get the full gist or pick something from what I will share. I will start by sharing one of the stories that was in this book. It was the story about one of the former presidents of Walmart stores. He accompanied the founder of Walmart to Alabama, a state in the United States, and they wanted to open a chain of their stores in Alabama. Upon arriving in Alabama, they decided to visit one of their competitors or another store to just see how they're doing and see what they can improve upon and all that. Upon getting there, Don, who happened to be the person that accompanied the founder of the Walmart stores, he was the one sharing the story. He said he was appalled by the state of the store. He couldn't wait to get out. The place was dirty, the staff were disorganized, customers were not there, the shelves were rough, and he was like, oh, look, we can't wait to get out of here. But Walmart, the owner of Walmart, was busy going through the lines and, to cut the long story short, when they were doing their review, when the book got out of the store, he couldn't wait to blurt out about how pissed off he was with the store. But while he was still trying to explain how the store was not good, Sir Walton was able to bring out at least two things that he wanted to implement in his own store. He brought out the pantyhose rack. He brought it to his attention and said, did you notice the pantyhose rack? He said he didn't notice it. That pantyhose rack is beautiful. That's the best thing I've seen. I think we need it in our store. Get the contact of the person who supplied it and ensure that we have it in all our stores. He said, did you notice that their cosmetic range has about 12 feet of cosmetics that addresses women of color? We have only 4 feet and we need to implement this. I've gotten the name of the manufacturer and the distributor, and I think you need to ensure you get in touch with this distributor because we need it in all our stores. That day, a lesson was dropped in the heart of Don, who eventually became a president in the Walmart company along the line. And that lesson was that out of every seemingly negative situation, there's always something good we can bring out of it. Yes, as they entered the place, it was dirty, filthy and all that. They could have just left without noticing some other things that would be of benefit for them. And that is where some things in this book stood out for me. You must pay attention to your thinking if you must make something significant out of life. It is so easy to overlook a lot of things just because the outer overlay is not interesting. The fact that somebody is a bad person does not mean that we can't learn from them. The fact that the situation is very terrible does not mean we can't pick something from it. Out of every negative situation, there are possibilities that we can bring out of it. And that was what played out in this particular part of the book. There was possibility thinking. Walton was thinking in terms of possibility. What can we bring out of this? Meanwhile, the other person had shut down. And when you shut down, you block your flow of creativity. Good thinkers are always in high demand. That is why they are always successful. Good thinkers are always in high demand. That is why they are always successful. So you may need to begin to wonder what actually makes somebody a good thinker. What makes somebody a not so good thinker? Think about it. What can good thinking do for you? Very briefly, I'll share it. Good thinking opens you up to opportunities. Imagine the opportunity that would have been lost if Sir Walton was not there with him. He would have just concluded that no, that store is not good, and they wouldn't have picked anything from it. Good thinking opens us up to opportunities. Good thinking grants us access to better revenue, because when you think well, you are able to provide solutions that entitle you to better revenue. So if you could be a student, or are you a teacher, or are you a parent, wherever you are, if you can think better, you can make better income. The third thing that good thinking does for you is that good thinking helps you to solve problems. It helps you to solve problems. There are situations of life that require just a little in-depth additional thinking. We need to begin to solve problems. We're currently in isolation, COVID-19 isolation. What problems are you solving? Only good thinking can make you generate the answers that are required in this season. And then lastly, good thinking enables you to experience a change of level professionally and personally. You cannot expose yourself to good thinking without experiencing a change in your life professionally and personally. How can you engage good thinking, or how can you learn good thinking? You may ask me. That's okay. Now I know my thinking is warped up. I really don't get this thinking thing you're talking about. How can I engage good thinking? How can I adopt good thinking? How can I learn to think better? The first thing is to learn to expose ourselves to materials like this one you're listening to, or books that would challenge your former thinking pattern, or materials that expose you to the trade that you're doing that makes you exceptional. Many of us are satisfied with the knowledge we have, and that is why in our businesses we remain the same way. But if we keep challenging ourselves by exposing ourselves to additional information, we begin to improve above our peers. So we need to expose ourselves to good information if we must improve on our thinking. Another thing we need to do is to surround ourselves with good thinkers. You cannot surround yourself with mediocres and expect to think exceptionally. An eagle that plays with a duck is a matter of time to begin to do quack, quack, quack. So if you must soar with the eagles, you must begin to move with the eagles. So surround yourself with people who think good thoughts, who are creatives in their own space. Another thing you need to do if you must develop the art of good thinking is to choose to think good thoughts. That's to tell you that you have the power to determine the thoughts that settle on your mind. And then the last but not the least is to act on your good thoughts. Because as you act on them is when it's like it opens up the door for more good thoughts, more good ideas to fill your mind. If you get a copy of this book, either online or offline or hard copy, it exposes us to 11 types of thinking, which I'll just read out. I wouldn't talk about them. I'll just reel them out for you to know that in the faculty of thinking, in the department of thinking, there are also levels. So we need to begin to assess ourselves and see, am I adopting these thinking patterns in my life? Remember I said, if you must experience something different, you must be ready to change your thinking. Your thinking today is the reason why you are where you are. If you must have a different result, you must be ready to change your thinking. And he talked about he addressed 11 thinking patterns. The culture of big picture thinking, focused thinking. They all have different things under them that if you open them up, it will blow you away. There is also the need for us to harness creative thinking. There's also realistic thinking. So while we have a big picture thinking that I mentioned earlier, there's also the place for realistic thinking. You need to understand where to apply each of these types of thinking. We also have strategic thinking. This one opens you up to how to think strategically. I enjoy this one particularly because it taught me how to break problems into small chunks and break them into little chunks and then address them one after the other. There's no problem that is too big that cannot be solved if only you understand the art of strategic thinking. He also talked about possibility thinking. That story I shared earlier was from this chapter on possibility thinking. There's also reflective thinking. Reflective thinking. Going inward to see what worked, what did not work, and how I can improve on it. Then there's also the aspect of questioning popular thinking. This is the way it's been done. This is the way everybody does it. As a good thinker, we must learn to question popular thinking and not just absorb it hook, line, and sinker without questioning it sometimes. There's also shared thinking. When you share, sometimes you get better ideas. Most times you get better ideas. I've experienced it, no doubt. I've experienced it so many times. Once I share an idea with people who are fellow thinkers, I get better ideas because they just fine tune it and it just swirls. Unselfish thinking. Thinking that it's not about yourself. I could have taken this content and just digest it myself and just keep it, but I felt no, I can't keep this to myself. I need to share it with you so that you can also benefit from it. And last but not the least is bottom line thinking. Thinking in terms of the bottom line. I believe that I have dropped some value for you today. If this thing has benefited you, I would like you to click on the like button, share, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do well and subscribe, and also press the notification bell so that whenever I post another video, you would know when I've posted and then you'll be able to benefit from it. Please drop your comments. If there's anything you feel I should improve upon in my delivery, please drop it. I believe once again that I have dropped something of value to you. Do make sure you ensure you get a copy of this book if you want to learn the art of thinking like a successful person. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. I am grateful and I'm glad that you've given me access to you. I look forward to doing another video in another few days, and I'll see you again next time. Have a wonderful day and God bless you.